Well, welcome back. You're listening to Walk-ins Welcome. My name is Nick Horde. I've got Michael Ray, my co-host, as always. Say hello, sir.
What's up?
It is our business of helping urgent cares and medical facilities triple their revenue. We do it through digital marketing services and exceptional patient experience. And today we have a special guest, which I'm always excited when we have guests with us. Courtney Fisher is with us.
Yeah, so we have Courtney Fisher. She is actually the marketing manager over at Cypress Medical Management Group. She actually helps represent 5 different brands underneath that group, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
We've interviewed a lot of people, and this is the first time we've talked to someone that works with more than just one brand at a time. She's been there for almost 5 years. She loves what she does, but she essentially, if it's anything related to the company in terms of marketing, she's got her hand all over it. Whether she likes to or not, she does.
Right.
But no, welcome aboard, Courtney. Good to have you.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Courtney, say hello to the Walk-ins Welcome crew and tell us, what is your favorite marketing tool and why?
Hello, everyone. So I think my favorite marketing tool, I have to say digital marketing. So especially SEM on Google, that is how we get most of our patients in. Having a digital presence is huge nowadays. You can't go anywhere without someone Googling you or Googling something. So just having that big digital marketing presence, that has hit home for us. So yeah.
I love it. So Google Ads platform. Do you find for your 2 main clinics, which let's go ahead and bring those up. What are the 2 main ones?
So you got the Alabama Pain Physicians and the Renew Clinic.
Yes, correct.
Those are the 2 main ones that you spend a lot of your time with, for sure.
Yes.
So kind of explain, what are the things that you're doing with those particular clinics from a marketing standpoint?
Yeah, so we're doing a few different things. So like I mentioned, we have our digital marketing ads. So we have our Google campaign going every month of the year, all the time. I think that's really vital to just keep that going. Even if you have a small budget, split that up monthly and just really hit home with that. One of the big things that we have is we also have a physician liaison. And so she goes out to different clients and different clinics, practices, and really is our on the ground person, spreading the word about our practice, visiting our referring physicians. It is one of the top ways that we get patients in is through referral physicians. And so having someone on the ground and just kind of having materials for her to use. So, we're doing something fun this fall where we have our football calendar and people just love to hang that up in their offices. But we also have like little goodie bags and folders with our information that she's able to give out. So I really think those play good hand in hand together. So you got your digital presence and your feet on the ground.
So we do this really thing that sounds similar, although we don't have the boots on the ground. The best way we can do it is we send out pizzagrams.
Oh yeah,
seriously, like the places we want to do business with, and we want them to do business with us,
or their current client that we're just showing appreciation toward.
Yeah, we'll buy their office. We'll send it to them. Hey, we love you. Keep doing what you do. And then it really warms up a phone call if we ever have to call up there. They're like, "Oh, y'all send us pizza. Y'all are awesome."
Yes, no, I think a pizza party is always a good idea.
Like that needs to happen anyway.
Yeah, so she does similar things. So she'll bring lunch to people every now and then, and she'll bring cookies. Yesterday was just National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. So we try to highlight on some fun holidays whenever those come up too.
Nice.
Awesome.
I love it.
So when you're using the Google Ads platform, there's several approaches to Google Ads. Okay. So we have the search, we have the display network, we have YouTube, we have retargeting strategies. What's working for you?
So what is mainly working for us is our Google Ads. We do have ads. Yes, Google search ads. Yes, I'm sorry. And so we do have ads running through YouTube. We haven't really had too much success through social media, so like Facebook and Instagram. We really find that when people, specifically talking about Alabama Pain Physicians, when people Google or search, they're really trying to find very specific clinics or practices. And so the Google search ads have just been, they generate 50% of the people even coming to our website. So
Oh,
they're a
wow.
big deal.
That's some strong stats right there.
Yeah.
So y'all aren't necessarily relying so much on search engine optimization. Y'all are definitely using the search engine marketing piece of that to drive traffic.
Yes. So they go a little bit hand in hand. I try to work on SEO at least once a month with all of our websites. But really just that search engine through Google is just where we see most of our patients coming to our website and calling us from there.
When you run your ads, Courtney, do y'all run them to dedicated landing pages for the specific service you're trying to offer, or you just run it to the general website?
So we run it to our general website. Our homepage is very strategic, and we really don't want you to spend a lot of time. We want you to find what you can or what you're searching for. So our phone number is immediately on there, and they can fill out our contact form. We have a little pop-up, and that's kind of mainly, why people go to your website and why they're searching, especially in the medical field, is they want to schedule that appointment immediately if they can. So and we even have on our Google ads, where you can click to call, and that's a great way that we're able to track our data and see how many calls we get a month versus
Tell you,
coming in.
you just confirmed probably 5 of our episodes where we talk about how keep it simple. They're going to call, they're going to fill out a form. Don't overcomplicate your homepage. I know, doctor, you want it to be sexy and amazing, but people don't care. They want to click and go. And you're proof in the pudding, right? Like, this is exactly what people expect. And we built the site around that idea, and it's working.
Right.
So, yeah. Thank you for confirming.
Yes, no,
You're
that's
looking at
the data that we're seeing is the time that people spend on our websites has dropped significantly, especially because of COVID, because people just want things immediately. So yeah, it's good to have everything front and center.
There you go. I love that. So I had a couple of questions kind of mixing into talking about your different brands. How much change in strategy are you having to adjust for each brand that you're working on? Like, obviously it's not cut and paste. Like what are you finding like the significant changes to be?
Yeah, so each of our different brands has a very different target audience. So for Alabama Pain Physicians, we see normally patients 50 plus. So we've had to target, and it's difficult, because the older generation doesn't always want to get online. So we also kind of help target maybe their children that are helping make appointments for them.
Yeah.
So that's been interesting to figure out. And for Renew Clinic, it's a Suboxone treatment clinic. So that's more, we really have patients ranging in the age of 30 and around that. And then we do have 2 quick cares. There are Acton and our Bessemer. And that is just kids from 2 and up because we do mainly COVID testing. And then we have our lab where we use PCR testing for assisted living homes, so specifically in Alabama. So that one's a very specific target audience, and we don't have to really mess around with that one too much, but just kind of figuring out the varieties of patients and who to target and where to target. It's been a challenge, but it's been fun.
Well, and I think, one thing that you're identifying too, where you said we never turn our ads off. We may adjust budgets up and down, but we never turn them off. Well, one is that you're learning. You don't want to lose that targeting that you had because it's going to shift at some point. So, but it's because we even tell our clients, like, don't turn ads, because we've had clients in the past, turn them off, turn them on, turn them off. And we're like, please don't do that. Just let us lower your budget or something.
Yes.
And not just, because it's like, I mean, I'm sure you've experienced the second you turn off an ad set or a campaign and you wait like a month to turn them back on because y'all have been busy or whatnot, it's not the same results out of the gate.
Right.
No, Google kind of bops you in the head for that too. They want to see consistency. So especially for Google, I do not recommend it. I have learned.
Awesome.
What is your long-term strategy? And what I mean is you've got the patient acquisition down. Y'all are bringing on traffic, you're converting the traffic. But that's just a piece of any patient care experience because that client doesn't just have immediate value; they have long-term value. How are
Mhm.
you staying in front on a digital perspective? How are you staying in front of your existing patients?
So, actually, one thing we've kind of been struggling with is our patient no-show rate. Ever since COVID, that's kind of gone up,
Mhm.
which I was a bit surprised. Whenever COVID hit, everything was very digital, and now that, especially with our clinics, we want to see patients in house. We want to know what's going on in their lives and with their medications and everything, and so it's very important for them to come in, but also we want to be safe about it. So it's been a little bit difficult to get patients to come back in and kind of remind them, hey, um coming to your appointment is very important for you and for us to make sure we know what's going on. So that's actually been something we've been struggling with, but we've never really done too much of an email marketing campaign, but that's something that we're actually starting to look into. Something that kind of targets our patients and say, hey, like, why didn't you show up for your appointment? Or hey, they have a reminder, but just to kind of reach them even a little bit more. So we're kind of starting to look into the email campaigns a little bit more, and I'm
And
excited.
we know from our own experience that text reminders are fantastic too.
Yes. Yes.
So there's a really cool technology that I would highly encourage you to look into. It's called voicemail drop,
Okay.
and there's 100 different providers that do that. I don't have any one that I recommend, but especially if you're having no shows, you could schedule out a voicemail drop. Hey, this is Courtney. I just wanted to remind you of your appointment tomorrow. Here's our phone number. Give us a call back if anything has changed. So that's the thing. Number one, if they miss your appointment, it takes it into another campaign with a separate voicemail drop. Hey, this is Courtney. We hate that we missed you yesterday. It looks like you were unable to make your appointment, and we would love to reconnect with you to figure out what we can do to help you there.
That's
Something
awesome.
like that. So a before and an after, but the after would only trigger if it's no show.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we've really been, it's not too big of a jump, but it's enough to be like, let's do some research into this, and maybe people just don't want to show up because they love the digital FaceTime with your doctor. And we really want to see people in house. So that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But this ain't about us. We want to learn more about what you're doing. Sorry, I just thought that might be a helpful
No,
tip. We can
yeah,
figure
no, I
that
think
out.
that's
I don't know.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, so one of the questions I had, you may have to think about this for a second. So I'm going to play like owner role. I need to hire a Courtney Fisher. I need to hire a marketing manager type role, right?
Yeah.
What does your day to day look like? And then, you have your day to day, and then you have like your overarching goals and things you work on. So if you were going to tell somebody, this is what I do, this is what you should expect in a job description and skill set, what kind of skills I have to make this real, because you've been
Mhm.
there for 5 years, so you know what you're doing. So
Yes.
if you were going to make suggestions, like if you're going to hire somebody, they should be able to do this, and this, and they should be super comfortable doing this. What would you say?
Yes. So one of the big things, I especially in healthcare, because it is always changing, it is always go, go, go. It's never, there's probably everybody's hair's on fire. And so you kind of have to be able to balance that, hey, let's get it done in a timely manner, but let's not freak out about it and over rush your project or over rush a marketing um, campaign that you have going. So I think that balance and being able to not kind of set your hair on fire, but also get things done pretty quickly is big in the healthcare world. For me personally, that's what I've experienced. And I think something else is just being able to be open and honest and talk to people. I know that sounds crazy, but I work with a lot of doctors and a lot of very smart people, and I know half the things that they know. So just being able to just have a conversation and easily flow, but also want to learn, because I have learned way more than I ever thought that I would at this job, but in a good way. So I think those two things are probably really, really important.
Nice. What does your day-to-day look like?
Yes, and I was gonna say, from marketing standpoint and skills, just kind of having a general understanding of SEM and how that works, and really just marketing to certain your target audience. I think you really need to know your target audience. But my day to day, my first thing I always do is I come and check out our websites. I'm kind of a one-man band, and so I do a little bit of everything. So just making sure our websites are up to date. We are always having some kind of flyer or something kind of being proofed in the process. We have like monthly ads that we run in the Birmingham Medical News. Um, just making sure our social media posts are posting. So yeah, there's a little bit of everything that I do throughout the day. So it's never boring.
It sounds like, if I was going to sum that up, you always have content out there,
Yes.
fresh content, renewed content. You're keeping your message going. It's not a set and forget. What you're doing this month is not what you're doing next month.
Yes.
And it needs to be, you need to have a plan behind it. And I imagine it needs to be consistent with all the channels.
Yes. So, actually, you mentioned that. So in September, we have National Recovery Month and Pain Awareness Month coming up. So they just happen to both be in September. So we're kind of getting a few things ready for that. I've realized that social media wise, our patients really like to see us. So as much as I can post about the different services that we offer and just they really, really just like to see our practice and what we're really doing kind of day to day. Like I have something coming up next Tuesday. It's like National Book Lovers Day, and I'm just getting just different books from people because people just like to see what we like to do. And we're normal people too. Yeah, there are patients, but it's we try to treat them like family. So
I mean, and that's something we try to explain that to our clients, where yes, we can put out a social post that has a generic image on it and does whatever, but we all know the true engagement comes when you showcase the real people at the real clinic,
yeah.
and not some generic photo. Um,
The best post we ever put out was match the team member to their dog.
yeah, that was a good one.
That's
We did
hilarious.
stories, and then people would vote like, that's Nick's dog, that's Michael's
I'm gonna
dog.
steal that idea. I love that idea.
Hey, you're welcome.
You could do it for the book one too.
Yeah, you could do it for the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just that engagement, I really think no matter what age group you're targeting, people like to see that you are also like them, and they like to interact. So that's a great idea.
I really do. Nice.
Awesome. Are you using TikTok?
I have not made grounds on TikTok yet. No. And
I'm gonna give you a stat for your pain. It's gonna mess with you a little bit.
Okay.
The most engaged demographic on TikTok is over 55. Is
it really?
Yes.
I have not done any research into it yet. And I've thought about it. So that's super interesting, because for pain right now, we really see people more on the Facebook side. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. Now you're gonna have
the most engaged, the most clicks, the most money spent, the most leads generated is over the age of 55.
And I love that. I love that for them too.
I think it's cool because I have no idea what they are looking at.
So now we're giving you homework, right? Now you got TikTok a little bit more.
Well,
And
now I'm excited. Y'all are giving me more ideas. This is why I need to talk to more marketing people.
Right.
exactly.
There you go. We'll nerd out together.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we don't have too many marketing people that come on our podcast, and
Right.
so it's nice to have these conversations because we're all kind of thinking the way we think. How else can we talk to somebody?
Right.
Where are they? You know, it's not a set forget. If I build it, they will come. You know, we know that's not real, so we have to work on it. But awesome.
All right. So I want to ask a question that a lot of our listeners, I think, would like to know. I mean this sincerely, is what is one thing that you want your bosses to know that they're not asking about Like, I love this part of my job. I'm really frustrated in this area. And we can edit this out later if we need to, but seriously, like, I wish they knew that I was doing these things.
That is a really good question. I think there's always things like little things, but I think we're really right now we're trying to figure out if we need to increase our digital marketing budget. So we're kind of in limbo there right now. And one of the big things that I really want them to know is they know how well it works. They're seeing how many patients come in, they're seeing those numbers. But I am trying to even drive it into them further that, hey, like, we have so much more competition now. Like, we are doing everything we can on our end, and this is not up to us. But to stay relevant, like, we're gonna have to increase our budgeting a little bit. And it's hard to ask for that, but and I definitely don't mind saying it because I've already asked. So but I think that's one thing that I really I'm trying to be very adamant about is just reminding, hey, this really does work. Here's the proof. This is why. So yeah.
I will give you some insight in the world of increasing budgets. So
Mhm.
we know that it's not as you increase budgets, it's not a 1-for-1 ratio. We've learned that if you double a budget, you might triple your leads, or even more.
It's
so.
exponential.
Yeah, it's not just if I double my budget, I double my leads. Sometimes you will triple or quadruple your leads because you break into a barrier that you've been pushed out of, and you have an opportunity because y'all been in the game longer. You have a this is our favorite part, like Google Ads. It levels the playing field. It doesn't care how awesome of a company you are, or if you have a $10,000 a day budget. If you're brand new to the space and your ads aren't very good, the person down the street running $1 a day budget will outperform you. And so, but you guys have dialed stuff in. So increasing budget, you'll just see a return, a pretty good return out of it. And you can compare it. You can say, here's 3 months, boss, at this budget, we doubled it here for 3 months. Look at where we landed. You want to go up more? And then the flip side is we've also learned there's a cap to it. You can get to a certain point where I can increase the budget, but it's not going to increase my leads that much, if any.
That's right.
So it's just wasted dollars.
And that's a good thing about Google is they'll kind of give you an idea like, hey, if you spend this much, like, you can show up 90% of the time, but we don't recommend you spending this more than this much, which is nice. It's nice to see. But yeah, when I first started a little over 4.5 years ago, we had half the competitors that we do now.
Oh, yeah.
And even for a Renew clinic, our competitors are now nationwide. Which is insane, but that's how the digital world works. So yeah.
Nice. I have one other question, and you may not be able to think of an answer right off the bat, but I like to hear this question a lot in other podcasts. But you've been there for 4.5 years. You're doing marketing. When and what was your aha moment?
Do you mean like just from working there, like figuring out, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be?
That, or there was something you did that made all the difference in all your marketing efforts, or made things easier or better?
So, my background is in graphic design. So that's what I started off first at the company. And throughout the years, I've learned from a lot of people more of the marketing side. So, I do a little bit of both. And so the thing I've always kept at heart is good design and good marketing. Is influential, but not to a point to where you're going to interrupt someone's life too much. You want to
Mhm.
fit into their lives, you want to fit into their schedule when they need you. And that's kind of what I've kept at heart. That was my aha moment of, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing. Because I'm in front of people's faces all the time. And I say me, but it's our campaigns. And I I can only my goal is to only help improve their lives.
Nice. I like it.
That's good. All right, let's drop some wisdom pearls for us. What do you have for us for the entire people that are listening? What if you had to start from scratch, brand new in your position? What is the first thing that you would do in your position?
Yeah. First thing, you kind of want to get a marketing plan going. Um, and there's
Get a plan.
definitely steps to that. So, you want to figure out what you're going to market first. So for me, we have the 5 different brands. So each one of those kind of has to have their own plan. And like, do you want to market a specific service? Do you want to market the company as a whole? Multiple services, which kind of, they have their own plans. You want your target audience. You really need to make sure you know who that is. You need to know your budget, because that varies quite often. Um, and I think you need to a big thing is like what makes you different? What makes you stand out? So what makes you different from the other quick care clinic that's right down the road? What makes you different from the other pain clinic that's right down the road? Like, is it that you've been there for 13 years? You have all these doctors and nurse practitioners with all this experience, like, just figuring that out. And one of the most important things is to be able to track your data. Um, and I say that to an extent because you don't want to get too data driven, but you need to be able to make sure that your plan's working.
Somewhere in Google heaven, an angel just lost its wings. Not being data. What do you mean don't be data driven? What does that mean? You have to have intuition. Oh
And
my
I
goodness.
probably say that from a design point too, because I keep a very level head between design and marketing, and I don't want to get too much into that data because then it's just overwhelming.
Well,
So
and I think it goes back to at some point you just got to execute and move forward and not get lost in the weeds and never commit.
that's what marketing
Would you
is. You
say
gotta
launch,
just
iterate, and improve?
Yeah.
yeah, but that's what marketing is. You have to try, and you're probably gonna fail at one point, and it's gonna be okay.
Yep. I love it.
Mm.
Man, to your surprise, we're almost at 30 minutes on this episode, so we've gone
Oh
over for sure.
wow.
Told you it would go fast, but just want to clean things up. anything else you want to add, Nick, to the I mean, that was good. I like that a lot.
You know what? That was a complete sentence. We've got some good information here. I've had a blast on this episode
Oh
today.
yeah, absolutely.
Courtney, I get a feeling like you're a very quiet, silent killer there when it comes to marketing. Like
I
you,
think so. I saw a video
there you
the other
go.
day that it was some girl, their marketing girl coming out of the office, and it was like, oh God, what does she want now? And I feel like that's me. I'm always there, and I always, when I need to pounce, I will. But I'm always there whenever I'm needed. So yeah.
Well, and you've experienced COVID with those 5 brands, and so you've seen pre-COVID, during COVID, and now approaching post-COVID, and that's a lot of transitions, especially in marketing, because all
Mhm.
that messaging changed.
Yeah, we really saw how crucial our digital campaign was during COVID. Yeah, it's just you have to have a presence on digital now. It's it is what it is. We're seeing ads on TVs now too, or like for Apple TV,
Mhm.
which I never thought would be possible. So that was, it was a crazy experience. I got some more gray hairs out of it for sure. But you know, I think that's one reason that I love being in the creative field, and surprisingly healthcare, is that it's always changing. You're always moving forward.
That's awesome.
You're always making a big impact on the people that you serve too. And that doesn't go unnoticed. I know the doctors get all the credit, and God love them, they do. But they'd never know about that doctor without the help of the digital marketing.
Yeah.
And I like to say, you know, it used to be said all the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But in the digital space, it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I love that.
Courtney, it has been a pleasure talking with you today. Thank you for coming on the podcast, sharing your wisdom with our Walk-ins Welcome audience. We appreciate that. We're going to hold you to coming back for another episode in the future.
That sounds great. Thank y'all for having me.
It's called Voluntold.
Voluntold, yeah.
Yeah, Voluntold. We will see.
I'm ready. I got my calendar.
I love it. Hey, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. See y'all on the next episode.
See you, Courtney.